Humans. Will they ever be completely successful in understanding the universe that they live in? I am Cosmos, and today we shall witness a story of great imagination, courage, and intuition, which marked the beginning of cosmology. Let us imagine if I was divided into a million equal boxes. Would the contents of each box be pretty much the same? Can each box have about the same number of stars and galaxies and the same average density, temperature, and pressure? Well, if this were true, then the universe would be homogeneous and isotropic. That is, it would be the same everywhere and in all directions. But if you look around yourself, you will not find this to be true. The million equal boxes cannot be of human scales. So what about the scale of the Earth? Or to the scales of our solar system? Or is it at the scales of our Milky Way galaxy? The answer is still no. It is only at cosmic scales of roughly about 200 megaparsec that the universe becomes homogeneous and isotropic. This is famously termed as the cosmological principle. Every single one of those million equal boxes that we saw will have to be immense. Each box will contain about 100,000 galaxies. Cosmology begins with Einstein's theory of general relativity. That's how we understand gravity, the most important force in the cosmos. For this, we shall be accompanied by an old friend who has lived this life himself, the gravitational constant.
I beg your pardon, but universal. It is the universal gravitational constant. Greetings all. I hope I must be a familiar face for most of you. After all, it is because of me that the force of gravity is always with you. Gravity appears to be the simplest of nature's forces, perhaps because it is the most familiar. Cosmos said that cosmology begins with the general theory of relativity, but the journey to that theory is a whole story on its own. It all began with a statement. The laws of nature appear the same to all observers moving with constant velocities. Absolute velocity has no physical meaning. Only relative velocities are meaningful. This is the principle of relativity known long before Einstein, given by one of the most courageous scientists, a keen observer of nature, Galileo Galilei. He was the first one to emphasize the importance of relativity in physical laws. The principle says that you see the same physical phenomena, the same laws of nature, regardless of their velocities, as long as the velocities are constant. This observation opened new doors to understand the physical aspects of nature, which paved the way to develop the intuition Einstein needed to solve. Oh wait, I skipped an important part. This old age has taken a toll on me. We must first go to 1687, England, where I was about to be born. I still remember the shivering excitement on his face as he wrote me down. Sir Isaac Newton had discovered gravity by observing an apple fall. He was a more brilliant mind than most that have ever walked the earth. His laws explained what gravity did remarkably well. But unfortunately, something was missing. There was no explanation as to why gravity works the way it does. What is the mechanism by which the sun reaches out and pulls on Earth across 149 million kilometers of empty space? No one knew, not even Newton. It was 200 years later when Albert Einstein changed everything. He said, gravity is not a force after all, but is the effect of geometry of the universe being curved. This shook the foundations of science, and with it, my existence. Alas, what could be done? The life of an alphabet is very short after all. Newton's laws are still adequate for almost all day-to-day applications. But in more advanced situations, particularly when velocities approach the speed of light, they do not seem to hold. Einstein modified this, stating that distance, mass, and time measurements are relative. All of general relativity is embedded in Einstein's field equations. Einstein's tensor equations represent 16 separate but related equations written properly. The model of general relativity was accepted all around the world after many successful observations, and this model was then applied to the entire universe. When Einstein published his paper regarding the theory of general relativity in 1915, everyone, including him, believed that the universe was static. This belief in an unchanging universe was deeply ingrained in Western thought. In both Newton's theory and Einstein's theory, it was not possible for a freely moving object to remain stationary in a gravitational field. Their velocities must be continuously changing. They must move due to the effect of gravity, thus contradicting the existence of static universe. Einstein revised his theory by adding a constant, which marked the glorious event of the birth of our very own cosmological constant. This solution for a static universe by Einstein provided something called repulsive gravity. However, the birth of lambda wasn't celebrated much at that point, as it did not provide us with an explanation, nor did it give us a solution, keeping the universe in an unstable equilibrium where the slightest increase in mass would have bizarre solutions of irreversible expansion or contraction. Einstein himself regarded this as the biggest blunder of his life. Thus, a static universe model was out of the question.
It thus becomes very important to understand that it is my large-scale homogeneity and isotropy that has allowed humans to study my structure and everything in it. These stories of ultimate intuition will be essential to understand the process of comprehending my form using mathematical tools. But humans, they did not rely on their intuition alone. Some even dared to look beyond the boundaries to make extragalactic observations. It was time for Edwin Hubble and Henrietta Swan Leavitt to shock the world with their observations.
If you found my life story to be interesting, then share this video, leave a like below, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.